Can I ask a question about healthcare, actually?
Yeah. Probably can't answer it. Go ahead.
Well, the Tea Party movement has been, over the last year has been energized by the healthcare debate and everything. And about a month ago, I think on your website, you wrote a biblical take on what would be just and Christianist, if you will, in dealing with healthcare. And you hinted at that it would be appropriate for the government to give health care and provide health care and an option for everyone. And it almost sounded like you should be speaking at a single payer rally as opposed to a Tea Party thing. And I was just wondering about the disparity in that in your presence here tonight.
Yeah, I was afraid somebody would ask me. I'm impressed you read it. Thanks a lot. By the way, just so you know, I was going up today as a driver, not necessarily as a participant, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, here's the way I look at the healthcare thing. First of all, my first thing is I say, and I've done a few commentaries on this subject as well as the blog. First thing I say is let's get rid of the phoniness. Let's stop saying things that just plain aren't true. All right. First of all, this statement, we got the best healthcare in the world, which I hear, not true. Study after study that has looked at the quality of healthcare of industrialized nations ranks the U.S. at the bottom. Okay? So, fine. Be against the current plan, no problem. But let's not make statements that I don't think hold up. Okay? I also, as I've said this, am troubled by, and again, I don't like hypocrisy, I don't like double standards, I'm troubled by the fact that the Republicans are attacking the current plan on two grounds. One is that it's a massive entitlement that will bankrupt the country. That's a good point. But their whole point is they say, we are against government takeover of healthcare. Right? Isn't that the line? We're against government takeover of healthcare. But at the same time, they're attacking it because it's going to cut back Medicare. It's going to reduce Medicare. It's the same press releases. Hey, now come on. What is Medicare? It's government health care. Single payer government health care. So what I'm saying is, look, if you're going to say we don't want government health care, then you ought to say we ought to get rid of Medicare. How can you say on the one hand we are against government health care, on the other hand they're attacking it because it's reducing government health care? I mean, I just think it's a double standard.
Phil,
okay?
when I want something bad,
let me finish. Let me just finish. Everybody get their chance. Fair, okay? And in the stuff I've written and done, I haven't said that I necessarily support the plans that are whatever you want to call it, Obamacare, whatever, because I do think it's going to push the country further and further to bankruptcy. I do believe that. But quite honestly, I'm kind of torn. I'm torn because I am troubled about the 30 million people that don't have health care. I'm troubled that 60% of bankruptcies occur because medical bills. It troubles me. And so it isn't so much that I'm saying, oh, let's support that bill in Washington. But I think there's been, I guess the word is, a lot of hypocrisy on the issue.
Would you be... Oh, no problem.
And I think there's been misleading statements, things like that, and that troubles me. I mean, I can deal with any kind of disagreement. Hypocrisy I have a real problem with.
Would you be for expanding Medicare to all citizens so that everyone is for sure covered?
I'm not necessarily saying I like Medicare. Okay, I'm just attacking the Republicans for saying two things out of the same, what is it? Talking out both sides of their mouth. Opposing government takeover of healthcare, at the same time opposing this plan because it cuts back on government takeover of healthcare. Okay, I'm not necessarily saying we should have Medicare, and the fact of the matter is, to expand Medicare to the entire population, which is really what the Democrats want to do, would again push us further and farther off the fiscal cliff. Jay, I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
Can I just interrupt for 1 minute, and then actually I want to we've got questions, I'd like to go back to the topic, and then we can talk to Phil afterwards. So we have other questions on the national debt.
They can hit me on the healthcare thing. That's fair. I'm fair game on that.
Well, with your topic.
No, but as this gentleman in the back pointed out, I think fairly, that was a hard question. It was a good question, though. Yeah. Again, I don't want to take up all your time, but Jay, did you have comments?
Well, I think we need to move on. I will just say this. If you're going to say study after study reveals that we don't have one of the best healthcare systems, you need to give us specific studies. And I'm familiar with some of what that's been done, like the World Health Organization. And they use a bogus standard when they come to that conclusion and rate us down the list. And we don't have time to debate it now, but you got to be careful with that one, Phil.
All right. Well, on that point, I think I put it on the blog. Go to philheimlich.com, and I wrote a blog on. I forget the name, but there's been two, I think, well-known studies of healthcare systems. You know, aside from the issue of infant mortality and that stuff, I think a system where 30 million people don't have access to it, I think that's a serious problem.
Phil, it's not 30 million people that don't have access. That includes all the people who choose not to buy it. That includes all the people who are in between jobs for a few weeks. The ones who really need help, maybe 10 to 12 million. And we're going to turn the whole system upside down for that?
5% of the population?
Fair.